I guess in Chicago, they're now calling him a Scream Hicks. Welcome to That's Good Sports. I am Brandon. When almost all of the games being played have some sort of playoff implications, we are rewarded with a titillating football weekend perna. I already posted a recap of the miracle in Miami, a real fuck you Tom Brady tribute, so today we will sandblast through the rest of the magnificent Week 14 games. The Chiefs defeat the Ravens in overtime, 27-24. Mahomes is out there doing no-look passes when many of us simply root for quarterbacks who can't do regular look passes. What can't Patrick Mahomes do? Well, besides beat the Patriots or the Rams. I know. He'd be a terrible phone sex operator, if that's still even a job. Something nobody talks about is that the internet really killed the phone sex business. Who the hell is Cyrus Jones? My neighbor, the manager at Safeway, or the Chiefs' defensive end who has a sack in 9 straight games? Probably all 3, which makes Jones close to tying the record with DeMarcus Ware and Simon Fletcher with 10 straight games with a sack. The Ravens, since switching to quarterback Lamar Jackson, now run the ball 66% of the time. Similarly, the Chiefs have cut 66% of their running backs for fighting women outside of Cleveland hotel rooms this season. This game was worth the price of admission, which for me is however much RedZone costs. A late punt return by Cyrus Jones gets the Ravens into the red zone, which was turned into a John Brown touchdown to give Baltimore a 24-17 lead in the fourth quarter. Now the Ravens had the Chiefs in a 4th and 9, right where they wanted them, but Patrick fucking Mahomes, borrowing the initial set from Peyton fucking Manning, launches this across the body throw for 48 yards to Tyreek Hill and then follows it up with a touchdown pass on 4th down again to Damien Williams to tie the game. A very impressive drive by KC, followed by an equally impressive strip sack by edge rusher Justin Houston to set up a game-winning kick for Harrison Butker, which of course he misses from 43 yards out, sending this game into overtime. I really do believe kickers are cursed this season. I'm not sure if more kicks really have been missed, but I feel like more crucial kicks in close games have been missed than I have ever seen before. Lamar Jackson proved he has a long way to go, and Andy Reid proved he was the smartest man in the 2017 NFL Draft as the Chiefs clinched a playoff spot with an overtime victory on a made field goal by Butker. The Colts defeat the Texans 24-21. The Colts got the no-lube ass job call of the week. Like the no-look pass, but for getting screwed by the referees. Instead of intercepting the Texans on the goal line, Malik Hooker gets flagged for playing defense. Sorry, Malik. That's half the distance to the goal for preventing an offensive player from scoring a touchdown. You can't do that in today's NFL. The Texans blew their chance to jump ahead of the Patriots in the playoff seeding, but I would like to officially give Captain Luck a new nickname. Andrew Luck? More like damn Drew Luck! Luck finished the day with 399 passing yards. T.Y. Hilton had 9 receptions for 199 yards, and the Texans got a wake-up call just in time for the postseason. The Saints got back into the win column with a 28-14 victory over the Bucs. Buccaneers receiver Mike Evans joined A.J. Green and Randy Moss as the only receivers to have 5 1,000-yard receiving seasons to start their career. Taysom Hill became the first quarterback in NFL history to block a punt, and again, Jameis Winston becomes about the 100th quarterback in NFL history to nearly get his ass kicked by a center and offensive lineman. Taysom Hill really is the Swiss Army knife of Swiss Army knives, which I think technically makes him an American Leatherman. One day, if he kicks a field goal, he can become the two-handed great sword of the NFL. Yes, Taysom. That is Taysom Hill. Now with this victory, the Saints clinched a playoff spot, tighter than you'd clench your butt cheeks if you ever encountered the two-handed great sword in a real-life confrontation. Panthers continue to lose, this time to the Browns, 26-20. That's 5 straight losses for the Panthers, and per Andrew Siciliano, the most Italian-sounding name at the NFL Network, heading into this game, Baker Mayfield had not been sacked in 3 straight games, which is the longest streak the Browns have gone without allowing a sack in 30 years. That includes when they weren't even a team in the late 90s and Bernie Kosar participated in a sacrificial self-sack every weekend to protest the Browns not having a team. Panthers corner Captain Munnerlyn ended that streak by sacking Baker Mayfield. Mayfield did throw a 66-yard bomb in the first quarter of this game. He was also 6 for 6 with this beautiful touchdown pass to Jarvis Landry. And yes, that's enough sixes to officially believe Baker Mayfield will eventually replace Tom Brady as the true evil of the NFL. The Browns technically are still in the wildcard race, just like technically I'm a sports anchor. Following in the NFC South footsteps of the Panthers, Falcons lose to the Packers 34-20. Michael Irvin picked the Packers to...
They're going to be playing balls out, all out today. I'm talking about all the footballs out. Yeah.
Go balls out, which is far more offensive than balls deep or dicks out. Do you know what kind of effort it takes to pull your balls through your fly without exposing any shaft? Joe Philbin took his balls out in the first 2 minutes of this game to lose all of his challenges to contested Julio Jones catches. Clearly the thing Joe Philbin missed the most about being a head coach was challenging plays. Either that or he was so confident Aaron Rodgers, untethered by the shackles that was Mike McCarthy, would kick the Falcons' ass that he wanted to have nothing in his pocket to hold him back, both literally and metaphorically. Rodgers was still sacked 4 times in this game, but showed how good the Packers are when they get help from their defense and kicker. The Giants blow out Washington 40-16. Saquon Barkley passed Odell Beckham Jr. with his 13th touchdown of the season to score more than any rookie ever in Giants history. Saquon accounted for 197 yards of total offense, all but cementing the Offensive Rookie of the Year award into his hands, which is going to make it very hard for him to play football next year. Didn't think about that, did you, Saquon? In a blowout loss, Mark Sanchez was benched during the game, they said, per a coach's decision, which is the PC way of saying he was playing like shit, so I had to throw Josh Johnson into the game, who I guess used Madden this week to learn his teammates' names. Madden 19, the most entertaining form of flashcards you'll ever use. Josh Johnson hadn't been active on an NFL roster since 2015 and hadn't thrown a ball in a regular season game since 2013, and he somehow finished with just 2 fewer passing yards than Eli Manning. Sorry, Andrew Luck, but Josh Johnson is the real comeback player of the year. Okay, Lions, Cardinals, Detroit wins 17-3. I don't think anyone would have noticed if Fox had just shown a replay of the last time the Cardinals and the Lions played. I didn't realize Scott Mitchell and Jake Plummer were still playing, but good for them. How do you beat the Packers in Lambeau and then lose to the Lions at home the next week? I will tell you, the Lions practiced on snow to prepare for the bad turf in Arizona. Practicing outdoors seems to be the solution to everything for Matt Patricia. Need to win a game outside? Practice outdoors. Need to win a game inside? Practice outdoors. Need to fix your marriage? Have sex outdoors. Doesn't even have to be with your wife, but it works every time. Matt Patricia's doppelganger showed up to the game, and this is the guy Patricia will send to meet the owner when he's eventually fired. Might as well follow that up with another meaningless affair, Jets and Bills. Jets win 27-23. I think it's official. I think in terms of discussing the rookie quarterbacks this year, with Josh Allen, we can go ahead and safely say he is a better running back than LaShawn McCoy. Allen has 335 rushing yards in the last 3 games, passing Mike Vick for the most in that time span. Unfortunately for Bills fans, Allen also threw 2 interceptions, sprinting towards a loss to the Jets. The craziest thing that happened, though, was maybe Andre Roberts returning kicks, great kick returns, without getting flagged. although he did narrowly avoid being tripped by Bills kicker Stephen Hauschka here. The Los San Diego Chargers narrowly escaped an embarrassing loss at the hands of the Cincinnati Bengals. Of course, the punishment for losing this game would have been that you just have to play the Saturday afternoon wildcard game. That punishment does not fit the crime. Maybe more impressive, though, is that Hugh Jackson now has been in last place with 2 different AFC North teams in the same season. Eagles lose to the Cowboys in overtime, 29-23. And this was tragic because the Eagles lost this game in OT on a ball that bounced off the defender and into Amari Cooper's hands for a touchdown, proving that even bitter rivals give each other Christmas presents at this time of year, and also that John Gruden has lost his mind. The Steelers lose to the Raiders in Oakland, 24-21. I thought it might be a good day for the Raiders when @Wilkie6 sent me this picture of the Scooter Raider gang. Once the scariest group of fans on earth, now millennialized by scooters. That's like putting a squirrel body on a spider. Once terrifying, now just adorable. Seeing this, John Gruden yelled "Spider 2Y Squirrel," which was a signal to Mark Davis to fire general manager Reggie McKenzie. You know, the guy who drafted Derek Carr, Khalil Mack, and Amari Cooper. Gone. Derek Carr, even in a win, managed to give us a beautiful Raiderific highlight with this fumble pass. The fumble pass, always the most embarrassing highlight for a quarterback. But they would be vindicated in another Steelers loss in Oakland. Ben Roethlisberger was hurt. Then he was not hurt when he saw the opportunity to come back into the game and be the hero. Chris Boswell, who threw a touchdown pass just a few weeks ago, has fallen from grace, missing a field goal in the second quarter. And then, of course, after Juju Smith-Schuster miraculously moved the Steelers into field goal range on one play, Boswell slips on the turf or the grass or whatever shit they put on the ground in Oakland that is cheaper than Mark Davis's yearly barber bill, completely whiffs on his chance to be the hero and misses. Yeah, per a source, I can confirm the Raiders field is actually recycled Mark Davis hair trimmings. That makes sense. It's hard to play football on human hair. Now, the loser Steelers prepare to play the loser Patriots with playoff seeding implications galore. The Rams and Bears did the opposite of what we thought they might do in a low-scoring defensive grudge match. Chicago wins 15-6. I don't know what the context is here, but Chicago Bears fans, slowly undressing in the cold, chugging booze and pounding their chests like less attractive Matthew McConaughey's from Wolf of Wall Street, somehow have become the refined, dignified version of the Bills Mafia. To me, the Bills Mafia is more like a street gang, and Bears fans are more like a real mafia. Organized and in like nice clothes and shit. The quarterback play in this game was atrocious. Trubisky barely bested Jared Goff. Punter John Hecker was the only passer to not throw a pick in this game. Sean McVay took full responsibility for the loss after the game, which I really respect. And when asked to explain why he chose to use defenders on Sunday night, one of the cooler moves, Bears head coach Matt Nagy gave one of the best answers I've ever heard a coach give. He responded, "I like it." Why'd you put defensive players on offense, Matt? I like it. Chicago's defense really is scary good. Scary good is the kind of feeling you get in the pit of your stomach when you realize you're actually about to have sex with someone who is way out of your league. What does that good fear look like? Scream Hicks gets us again, perfectly illustrating that emotion. Now, Chicago has 25 interceptions this season, which is one more than they have had in the last 3 seasons combined, and about the same amount they gave away every year when Jay Cutler was their quarterback. And the Seahawks beat the Vikings 21-7 in a game that was close until it wasn't. The Vikings' Danielle Hunter got his 12th and a half sack on the season. Booger McFarland says his arms are longer than the Mississippi River. We get it, Booger, you're from the South. The Seahawks had a chance to put more points on the board right before halftime, but Russell Wilson decided to do his best Tom Brady impersonation and kills the Seahawks' chances of scoring anything by tossing this dumb interception. Minnesota failed to score a touchdown of their own on 4th down, which was crucial because Just a little while later, Bobby Wagner, the last remaining member of the Legion of Boom, so now it's the Legion of Uno, blocked a Vikings field goal attempt. Now, many believe this should have been ruled a penalty because Bobby put his hands on his own player to get leverage. I don't think that should be a penalty because it's a lame-ass penalty if you call that a penalty. Pretty solid rule philosophy. Russell Wilson then tore off a 40-yard run. Seattle rushed for a game-sealing touchdown, a 2-point conversion, but really wanted to rub it in Minnesota's face by strip-sacking Kirk Cousins for one final Seahawks touchdown. This one by the defense. And Seattle solidified their wildcard spot by handily beating Minnesota. So what did we learn this week? Well, Josh Allen is basically the white Mike Vick without the accuracy. The Steelers' defense really does suck, and Patrick Mahomes is definitely taking PEDs. Thanks for watching another episode of That's Good Sports. Please subscribe here on YouTube. I mean, I don't want to pressure you or anything, but you could subscribe here. Will Keys, give him a follow on Twitter at WillKeys6. I'm on Twitter, Instagram at Brandon Perna for more football stuff. Follow me there.